You are listening to the Life, Hope, and Leadership podcast with Nick Shabrinsky, a transparent, honest, and encouraging podcast to equip you through real life experiences.
Hey, thank you guys for jumping in on these Life, Hope, and Leadership podcasts with me, Nick Shabrinsky. I hope that you are enjoying the content that is coming out of each and every episode. If you are, it means the world to me if you just take a second to hit that like, subscribe, or follow button on whatever platform you're listening on. And do me a favor, send it to a few people you think would benefit from the conversation. Also, don't forget that you can jump into the dialogue of each episode on the Spotify app by leaving comments about how you liked or disliked or whatever your takeaways were from each episode. So once again, thank you for being a part of the Life, Hope, and Leadership podcast community with me and all of those who are listening. So let's jump in to the next episode of Life, Hope, and Leadership. What up, beautiful people? Thank you so much for being a part of these Life, Hope, and Leadership podcasts. I hope that they are helping you, encouraging you, and if they are, do me a favor, just take a moment to follow and show some love on whatever platform you're listening on. I know there's a lot of different places that you can be following, and so if you're on Spotify, let us know. If you're on Apple Podcasts, whatever, let me know, and you can go to pastornick.net and message me or leave a comment on my Spotify podcast, because you can actually leave comments right there directly. But yeah, leaving a review, sharing, whatever, it helps, and I appreciate it. I wanted to share a podcast on leadership, and really it is life and hope, because it's imperative, what I'm going to talk about today, that we operate this principle in our home, in our marriage, with our kids, to our family, our friends, our peers. But I was kind of really really meditating on this reality via pastoring and thinking about our community and our congregation and our, really as a family, the body of Christ. And, as I was mulling over some things, I actually had an opportunity, my wife and I, to go to Israel a couple of years back, and the coolest thing ever. And I had brought back some water from the Jordan, and I had it in this little vase, or a little, vial or something like that, and it had a cork top. And I went and was looking at it the other day, and like a third of it was gone. And I was like, man, now I do have some more, but I was disappointed because I actually had put it in this thing specifically as a gift. So I was like, man, this thing is, it's evaporating. And then I started kind of looking at it and thinking about when I've seen things before with cork and they're sealed in wax. And I was like, oh, wow, you really have to seal this thing, because evaporation, even with the cork in there, is inevitable. And then I started thinking about, our church is about to celebrate 10 years, and it is just an amazing thing. I have had the opportunity to help plant and also serve and volunteer, and not many churches, because I don't church hop, but I was in cities, and where I lived, I gave my heart to my local church for many years, from 15 until now. But our church is now 10 years old that I pastor, and my wife and I. And over the 10 years, sadly, one of the things that really is hard when you pastor or you're a part of any great community is the amount of people that they come and go. And sometimes it's, and I don't want to get into that, because sometimes it can be, a lack of compatibility. It can be, my fault as a leader. It can be a person's fault. It could just be, didn't work out. But over time, people do come and go. And this is a life lesson. I mean, your kids will go to school and they'll have revolving doors of peers in school. I grew up military housing, so my friends just rotated on a regular basis. And so we all know what that's like, to have a rotating door in our lives, whether ministry, life, family, whatever. But over the years, we have held true to a specific vision for our church, which is to bridge the generational gap in the home and in the church and teaching our world how to walk with God. And that takes time, and investing in people takes time, and casting vision takes time. And so I was thinking about how it's crazy how so many things in the vision we constantly have to revisit. And then when you think about it, it's like, well, okay, well, why? Well, it's not just the fact that there's a rotation of people in and out of the organization and in the ministry of it all. But the reality is vision leaks. And so that's actually what today's podcast is all about. I want you to be realizing that the vision leaks. And so I wanted to give just some thoughts and ideas about the power of protecting and replenishing vision, protecting and replenishing vision. You and your wife, you and your husband, you sit down, you create a budget, you're looking for financial goals, and 3 months in, 6 months in, there's a new TV, a new iPhone, a new Android, a new car. I mean, you have the 24, but the 25 is coming out. The Samsung, the S21 Ultra is out. The 22 Ultra is out. The iPhone 14 is out. The iPhone 15 is out. And you're going, oh man, wait. I want it. But it's like, wait, do you forget the vision? And vision leaks. And so we have to protect it and we have to replenish it. And the first thought about that is that, I think that there's 3 major areas where vision leaks. And there's intentionality and consequential leaking. So number 1 is we are all called to leak vision. And this really goes out to leaders. This is really a leadership principle. And it's really up to you if you're going to lead in your life. I mean, you can live your life. And to be quite honest, a lot of people don't actually live their life. They just make it through. And this is really like a live your life concept. This is a lead your organization concept. This is a lead your family concept. We are called to leak vision as leaders. Culture isn't built, nor is culture lost overnight. As leaders, part of your responsibility is to leak vision to those around you. Now, I've learned that there's a difference between casting vision and leaking vision. Casting vision can be a fire hydrant, but leaking vision is a drip. You don't make coffee by casting water. You make coffee by dripping water. If you just blow through it, you're going to blow through the filter and everything. So I am a big vision caster, and I think I leak vision, but what I've learned is there's got to be more intention about how you leak vision, and there's got to be a very keen eye on making sure that we're looking for the cracks and things, because vision is necessary. The Bible actually says in Proverbs 29:18, where there is no vision, people perish. Where there is no vision, people will perish. Vision is essential to any community, any organization, family, marriage, whatever. And if we're supposed to be leading and we don't consistently share and demonstrate the vision, people will begin to drift, things begin to die. People drift, things die. Vision doesn't just stay, it doesn't just stay static. It's actually something that spreads through our actions, our words, our behaviors. What we tolerate, we train. Behavior tolerated is behavior trained. My wife and I have realized that, pastoring a church for the last 10 years, there's a lot of times where you simply just love people and you want the best for them. And so you tolerate certain behaviors, and no matter how much you try to tolerate or try to be gracious, behavior tolerated is behavior trained. And then the problem is you're trying to leak the vision of being gracious and being kind, but really what you're doing a lot of times is creating and leaking vision that bad behavior is okay. And that's a problem. And the same will be true with your children, with your marriage, with your spending, whatever. Vision leaks through leadership, through how we communicate, through how we lead. And it, like I said, you can't just expect everything you want to do to happen overnight, and it doesn't get lost overnight, but it has to be continually communicated and demonstrated. Communicated, demonstrated. Practicals, roadmaps. We are called to be vision carriers, leading by example, consistency, and reinforcing in everything that we do. Habakkuk chapter 2 in the Bible, it actually says, write down the vision, make it plain on tablets that you can run with it. It's, that anybody who reads it can run with it. For the vision is yet to be appointed. It speaks of the future, and the Bible says it will not prove false. And so when we say we have vision, like we have to have roadmaps in front of us so that anybody coming into the house sees the vision. My wife and I have inspiring statements and marriage photos and dating photos all around our house because we want people to come in and see that the Word of God guides our lives and our marriage, and that we actually like each other. It's really important. John Maxwell, phenomenal leader, phenomenal pastor, and a hero of mine, says a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. That's why I follow Jesus. He said, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father but through me, gives his life for the world, resurrects, said he came from heaven, said he would live, said he would die, said he would rise again, said that we would meet him there. He did it. I trust him. So that's what a leader does, and our behavior is imperative. So wherever you are in your walk right now or in your life right now, you can't just say that you're a leader. There's a lot of times where people have said it's called the abuse of power. It's like you're in a position, but you're not living it. You're not showing it. Now, granted, you're always going to have haters because the hater's going to hate, as Taylor Swift would say. But the reality is whether or not people have haters around them, you can't let the haters change the fact that vision has to be leaking constantly. There was a report that only 33% of employees say they actually know what their company's mission and vision is. The lack of clarity is one of the main reasons for disengagement, which is really why we have to demonstrate this. And I realize that I have to do better. I realize that we have to do better as a church, as a husband, as a leader, as a pastor. 33%, 1/3 of your employees don't know what the heck to do. They're just coming in, clocking in, doing whatever. Number two, I want you to catch this. Vision is always leaking. And what I mean by that is evaporating. You have to constantly be refilling it, protecting it. I lived in Arizona and I had to have a humidifier for my guitar. And you can't just fill the sponge up and throw the humidifier in there and just walk away and leave it. No, you have to be checking on that regularly because it dries out, it leaks, it evaporates. And if you're not checking that, then your investments are eventually going to be hindered, damaged, compromised. So we have to constantly be thinking about that. Vision is like water. It's leaking over time. It's just like water. It evaporates if left uncontained. Vision will dry up. It will slow down. It will leak away if you don't replenish it, protect it. It requires intentionality. I really try to be a person of intentionality. I want to be a person that I don't do anything on accident, and I do everything I need to do with intention. We need to be constantly thinking about the way that we are casting vision, reinforcing vision, filling vision, and then also being very intentional to look for the cracks. Like if you say we're going to love people, but because four of our core values, main core values are honor God, love people, choose joy, pursue excellence. Under honor God, we want to have faith at every turn. So if we start going, hey man, we've been operating in fear, well, that's a crack to the vision. So we go, hey guys, we've been working in fear in this area. We said we're going to honor God. Without faith, it's impossible to please God. We need to activate some faith. So distractions, shifting priorities, people coming and going, hires and fires, negative influences. You got to be careful because it's going to rupture something that's supposed to be carrying vision, and vision can fade away. Proverbs 4:23 says, above all else, guard your heart. Everything you know, everything, the Bible says everything flows from that. Out of it flow all the issues of life. We have to protect the heart of our ministry, of our marriage, of our parenting, of our community. And without vigilant protection and caring for it, it can simply erode. People say, oh, we fell out of love. No, you didn't fall out of love. You forgot why you got married. You stopped working the vision till death do us part, through thick and thin, high and low. And so these things are important. Date nights with your kids, date nights with your spouse, business, meetings with mature faith-filled leaders in your church to sit down and really go over things. Hey, how are we doing? How's the vision coming across? What do we need to do? What do people know? What do people see about us? It is so important that we are constantly painting the image, just like a tattoo. Tattoos over time start to fade. Okay, same thing is with vision. Um, I think there was what was it, leadership IQ or something found 70% of employees report that they do not fully understand their company's strategy. So now you got 1/3 don't know what to do, 70% don't even know why we do it. How are we doing this? Why are we doing it? We're getting lost here, y'all. So we really got to get down to the nitty gritty, man. Hey, this is who we are. This is what we believe. This is what we do. This is why we do it. This is who we are. This is what we believe. This is what we do. This is why we do it. This is who we are. This is what we believe. This is what we do. This is how we do it. You can do this in every area of your life. I remember I had a spiritual daughter. She was in our college ministry. She pulled up in her car one day, said, "Pastor Nick, I'm so excited. I got a good job and I'm going to buy a new car." I said, "What's wrong with the car you have?" She's like, "I don't like it." I said, "That don't matter." I said, "Then get a vision for a car. Start making a car payment to yourself while you drive the car you own. That way, by the time the car you own doesn't drive no more, you take care of it, keep care of it. Once it's kind of, you've driven the wheels off of it, now you'll have a whole car payment, a whole car in your savings account." You know, the vision is, I got a new job, so now I can just go buy whatever I want. No, I got a good job so I can take care of myself, my family, my future. Don't make things the vision. Make success and define what success looks like for you. Because if success is things, then you can have false success with credit cards. So you got to have real authentic vision. For us as a church, success isn't hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people in our church. That's great. That's a part of succeeding. But real success is creating mature disciples for Jesus Christ. For my wife and I, the goal is not, oh, we went on dates and had sex. That's okay. Well, fantastic. We great. We went on a date. We had sex. That's fantastic. That's good. That's definitely a successful part of marriage, but that's not a successful marriage. You can hook up with your spouse and go on a date and spend a ton of money and have a romantic evening and hate each other and not value each other. So what's the vision of a successful marriage? What does it mean to be a successful father? Is it that you bought your kids a new pair of shoes? Or is it that your kids know you love them and know the values of your heart? So number 3, I want you to think that vision actually leaks not only intentionally and not unintentionally through erosion, but also subliminally to the world around us. The world around us is watching the way we're living out what we believe, or they're also watching how we're not living out what we believe. Vision doesn't just leak within our organization. It leaks outwardly to the world around us, our actions, our decisions, our mood, our words, the cleanliness of your car, if your breath stank. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is leaking to the world around us that we're not even realizing. And I see this often where I see people, they act, they're on par when they're in their management position in the business, but the moment they walk out the door, they leave that business behind. The problem is when you go to the store and someone sees you being a butthole to the sales associate or whatever, they see you still in that managerial position. Now people don't want to come to your business. They don't want to come to your church. They don't want to come to your whatever. They just, because they go, hey, obviously that guy's not who he says he is. He goes over here, puts on, the face. But like, we really need to value what we do, who we are, why we do it. And if a job or a position changes what you do, but it doesn't change who you are, you might be in the wrong position. So we are sending powerful messages to people outside of our direct team and organization by the way that we live. And they feel it. And it's a ripple effect in your community and what people believe about you and what you say or who you say you are. Whether it's through integrity, work ethic, relationships, public actions, public relations, vision is leaking outwardly, and it is impacting your immediate and not so immediate group. And I'm guilty, dude. Don't get it twisted. Like my whole life, I have tried so hard to love Jesus. And every time that I have failed in being that example, it's a ripple effect, and it breaks my heart. People that I might have let down, things that I've done that didn't truly represent Christ, and my heart literally breaks over it every day when I think about that. But that's why we have to constantly be re-upping our passion for what we believe, why we believe it, how we live it out. Matthew chapter 5, 14-16 says, "You are the light of the world, and a city on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl, but instead they put it on a stand, and it gives light to everybody in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. This is so important. It's saying, look, the vision, the light is for the house, but man, it's really cool when you're driving down the road in the holidays and you see that beautiful tree in the window. You're not being a creeper peeper. You're celebrating the joy and the beauty and the life that somebody decorated their home, lit up their house, put up that tree to show the whole world, this is what we believe. This is who we are. This is why we believe it. So we want to take these things seriously, really value them. I really want to encourage you that as we believe in who we are, let's build a culture around it. Culture doesn't happen overnight, and you don't lose it overnight. Now, don't get discouraged if you've seen, deficits in vision or processes or your culture. Doesn't mean you're a failure. It just means you need to fix some stuff. Now, you might be failing, but just because you're failing doesn't mean you're a failure. And so I do want to encourage you, where you're seeing it leaking, where you're seeing there's problems, where you're seeing things can be better, jump on it today. Make a list, make action items, get with your team, and really evaluate it. Stop thinking that yesterday's processes or yesterday's, things you did yesterday are sufficient enough to get you where you're going. You have to re-up. You have to be cautious about evaporation. You need to be cautious about the cracks. And you need to remember that the gospel tells us that there's the parable of the sower, and 75% of the soil that he was sowing in was not receiving the seed. So that does tell me that there's a high probability that every day of your life that you're leaking into people and casting vision, there is a large portion of those people that either aren't ready for it, don't value it, don't love it, don't want it. And so you got to never give up on leaking vision, because vision is always leaking. It leaks in multiple ways. We are leaders. We are called to lead through it. So I would love to really ask you, what are you doing right now to cast vision? What are you doing to protect vision? And what are you doing to reinforce vision to your immediate organization and the world around you? That being said, love you guys. 22 minutes today. I hope that you enjoy the podcast. I hope that you are really going in and taking notes and thinking about the vision of your organization, your business, your ministry, your life, your marriage, your kids. Don't just funnel yourself into a work thing. You are greater than that. You are not what you do, but you will do what you are. So get a vision for your life. Get a vision for everything you do. Have a great day. Like, subscribe, follow, share. Thanks so much.
You are listening to the Life, Hope, and Leadership Podcast with Nick Shabrinsky, a transparent, honest, and encouraging podcast to equip you through real life experiences.